What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. It is freezing cold. Today we're working on the RX7 again. As you saw in the last video, I released what engine we're going to be using, and I weren't sure what to do about the sump because it's got a front sump. Well, I had this brainstorm and we're just about to find out whether it works. But basically, let me turn the camera around. I have fitted a Nissan S13 subframe. It's currently bolted up in the factory hold. I will have to make another one, and I've got to extend it about 10 mil, so I chopped it in half. On the other side, I've already got the S13 arm and everything, and I got some hubs over there from Huxley Motorsport. He sent me some, that's sweet. So now we're just about to fit the engine in to see if it's actually going to work, because the reason I changed it is the RX7-FC has the rack at the front, and also it's got a massive subframe, where the S13 moves the rack to the rear, so that gives me clearance at the front for a front sump. I was going to modify the sump, but I took the sump off, and the oil pump, like the actual cog with the chain, sits right down here. So the only way I could modify the sump is if I fit an external oil pump, like a dry sump system basically. And it's not cheap. Even if I make my own sump and everything, it still works out expensive. So we're trying this. This is the cheaper option.
Bit cold, isn't it?
Your red looks nose. Your nose looks so red on it. So yeah, and with this subframe, if I have to, I can technically chop right out and then obviously reinforce it. But yes, let's fit this bad boy in and see if it's going to work. I think it is, but one way to find out. This thing is not light either. Well, she's in, and we have got loads of clearance. Look at that. That's the sump to the rack. Loads of space. Not to the rack, to the subframe. And then where the rack goes through there, it's quite hard to see on camera, but down through there's loads of room as well. And the back of the engine actually has to come up a little bit. It's a bit tilted at the moment, but we've got loads of room. The engine can actually go down a few more inches. The engine mount actually almost lines up. Can you see it down there? Almost lines up with the S13 subframe, so it's going to be pretty easy to make some engine mounts for that. Oh yeah. What a beaut. Right, so got the subframe welded up because obviously I had to extend it. I put a reinforcement plate over it. I put a bar inside as well on either side, welded it through here and through the middle, and then yeah, put a bar all over it. So reinforced all the way around, as you can see. So that she is solid. And the engine mounts, I know I spoke about this a minute ago, but when they're in the car, the bolt hole like practically lines up with them mounts. The only difference is the Mercedes one's flat and this one's at an angle. So what I might do, I might make like a box like this so it's flat, and then literally you'll have a rubber bush. But I'm going to put this in the car, bolt it up, and then I'm going to put the gearbox on the engine, put the engine and gearbox in the car, and have it all on jack stands and bits of wood and stuff in the position where I want it. And then I can drop the subframe, modify this depending on where they line up exactly, and make the gearbox mount as well. So yeah, it's good progress really. Now I'm going to bolt the gearbox on that and then get that in the car. Show you how cold it is in the workshop at the moment as well. Like, this is outside. That is so satisfying. Does anyone else love breaking ice? I don't know why. Alright, so I took the subframe back off. I cut down here and around the front, whacked them up so they're almost flat. They've still got a bit of a tilt, but I put it on and it lines up perfect. Just going to need a little bit of rubber, like some sort of bushing, and then yeah, that's it. Ignore my MIG welding. I haven't done it in a long time, so it's not quite perfect. It's not terrible, but it's definitely doing the job. Yeah, so I basically plated this in here, the front, and same on the other side. And then round the back, I've reinforced it as well. Got some thick steel plate in there, and I've welded all inside as well around the tops. So she is nice and strong. And yeah, now just need to test fit it again. I mean, it's a bit late. I ain't chopping that up again, but it should be all right. Because where I had them, cause basically I chopped it, put it back on the car to check the angle and everything, and it was perfect. So yeah, I measured it to make sure it didn't move, and it seems to be good. So now just need to get it back in the car, work out what size bush I need, and then for now I'll probably put a bit of steel or a bit of wood or something until I make up some bits of rubber, which might use like hockey pucks or something. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, let's get this test fitted back in there and we'll see how she lines up. Right, so yesterday I got the engine mounts made, as you can see, and it's actually mounted up now. See if I can get the focus down there. And it was funny, I measured the gap of a bush I needed because I was gonna like make something up, and it turns out E36 control arm, trailing arm bush was like the perfect size. So I've got Ross's old ones in there, and it is perfect. So the engine is officially mounted. Now I'm just in process of doing the gearbox mount, which I'll show you in a sec. Right, so gearbox is officially mounted. It's not the prettiest, and my welds look awful because trying to weld under here, I mean, look at the space I got, that's it. It was stressful, to say the least. But she's in there. I just need to, using the factory bushing there. I think the engine's all level and stuff, but we'll find out at some point. Now I just need to take these off and then weld in the bits that I couldn't get to, and then paint it, and then that's it. Job's a good one, boys. Don't look at it too much. But it's a bit industrial looking, but I don't really care. It'll do the job. Alright, so I'm not sure where I left off with this because it was about a week ago. But we've got the engine mounts made, as you can see down there. The engine is fully in place now and supported on its own weight. I think it's about level, I don't know. Centered and level, it looks about right, and done a bit of eye calculations and it seems all right. This is the gearbox mount I made. I know it's a bit industrial looking, but it's quite difficult to make a gearbox mount when you're under there. I don't have much room. So it'll do, it works. It's retaining the factory gearbox bushing on it, so it should be sweet. Now, just need to take the engine back out. I'm going to put it on a stand. I've got dipshit. And then, because I'm going to clean it all up, paint it, refresh it all basically. And then I'm going to paint the engine bay, and then the engine and gearbox can go back in for good. And then I can do all the wiring and all that stuff. I was originally going to paint the car and the engine bay at the same time, but I think I'm going to do the engine bay first so that I can put the engine in so it's out the way. And then, yeah, just leave the engine in there with it all painting. So that's basically all done. And then I just need to paint the car. I think that would be the best way to do it. So, yeah, let me just grab this engine out quick, and then I can show you the rest of the S13 subframe, because I've got a big pile of parts I bought as well. So, yeah. Right, I don't know when the last clip was that I filmed, because this video is going to be all over the place, because I haven't done much on the RX7 in quite a while. But let me turn the camera around. Yeah, I don't know if I've already said this, but everything's done. All the arms are in. Everything, as it gets dusty, we haven't touched it in ages. I've got these mounted. There's actually 2 factory holes under here. See? And it fits in there perfect. On the other side, I was going to brace it. And on this subframe, I've got 1 bolt in the factory hole, and the other one I just need to drill out and put reinforcement in. But there might be a change of plan. It's a bit late in the build to do that, but let me explain. So when I was doing research on the M1, on the M113s, I couldn't seem to find any rear sump setups, but I recently came across the forum and someone had put one of these in an E36 and it had a rear sump on it. So I dived in, started looking around, and there is a rear sump setup you can buy for this engine off of, I can't remember the exact engine it's off, but I know it's off the 5 litre version, and it came in certain cars. I can't remember, I think it's like the SL500 or something like that. So I'm thinking I might order a rear sump kit, put it on, put the RX7 subframe back in, and see if I can make it work with the factory RX7 stuff, because obviously I'd rather run the factory RX7 stuff than the S13 stuff. Just keeps it more original, and all the geometry is going to be correct, where what I've done, it's all just like, yeah, it looks about right. I've done many measurements, so it all looks like it's fine, but you never know until you drive it, and it might feel weird, or I don't know. But it still might not fit with the rear sump on there, I don't know. So I'm going to order a rear sump, try it out, because obviously, as you can see, this one is front sump, and see if I can make it work for that. If I can't, I'll just stick with the S13 stuff, but I want to try it. So that's kind of why it's been on pause. The next video you're going to see is going to be me tackling the wiring, because I am going to be running it on a standalone, on a DIY EFI, cheap standalone. I looked into...
That's like boys!
I looked into getting all to work with the factory ECU, but Mercedes are an absolute pain. You've got to get the ECU sent off, have a immobilizer thing fitted to the board, emulator, and then you have to have it sort of recoded to let it know that it's a manual, not an automatic, and that actually would end up costing more than buying a standalone. And then you've got factory ECU problems, as in it's got a weird drive-by-wire but actually runs off of a cable sensor, and yeah, I don't know, it's just going to be mega complicated for no reason. So what I'm going to do to keep it budget, I'm going to hack the factory ECU lines, wiring, can't even speak, strip it all down, chop out everything I don't need, and then just repin it to the standalone basically. So that's the plan. But I know it's taken a while to get this video up. Hello, doggy. Hello. Hello. What's that? Hello. Yeah, sorry it's taken ages for me to do an RX7 update. For one, I've been busy on the purple car. I've not really touched this. And two, I've spent ages making my mind up what to do with the ECU wise. Because, yeah, I've been deep in dive. I don't know where, into the interwebs, trying to do research. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.